everyone, my name is Anessa Wolfblack, and welcome to the Wolfblack Playbook. I am your host, and I am so excited to share this first episode with you. This podcast is all about diving into the world of sports, leadership, and the life lessons we can learn along the way. I'm a former collegiate athlete turned into a coach with over 5 years of coaching at the collegiate level. I now spend my time coaching the next generation through AAU basketball, and I love to find different ways to connect sports and life. Whether you are an athlete, a coach, someone looking for inspiration and leadership tips, or frankly, one of my friends. Every single one of these episodes, I will share personal stories in my life, lessons I've learned along the way, and maybe interview some amazing people to help us all level up. Being my first episode is a few days after Thanksgiving. First, I wanted to say Thanksgiving to everyone, and also I wanted to share a story from my own Thanksgiving. My fiance and I and a few of our friends spent the morning playing golf. Then we took turns. We went to my family for Thanksgiving lunch, and then we went to his mother's house for a Thanksgiving dinner. Every single year at Thanksgiving or Christmas, we plan Thanksgiving games, minute to win it, fun games, including some like using the balloon to move the paper cups and tic-tac-toe, musical chairs, bingo, loteria, all kinds of games. It's a tradition that we all have grown to love. And this year at his family's house, because we've already played golf in the morning, we brought our golf club. We brought a little practicing net that we often use in our living room. And we brought our little plastic balls. So obviously nothing could break. So my fiance's game was a chipping contest. And quite naturally, there's a whole bunch of people at the house that have never played golf before. That was us like a year ago until we started playing golf. And so we brought a game that probably one of us would win. We could choose one of the mini prizes you can choose after you win one of the games. My fiance is a chipping savant. He's really good at it. He kind of had an advantage. But because we got there early enough, everyone could practice if they wanted to, which gets me to my story. My fiance has 2 little cousins. They are both boys. They are both athletes. They are both soccer players. They were very excited to use a golf club inside the house, and they were very excited to try this chipping contest. One is a goalie and one is a defender, and they play soccer year-round, so don't really play a lot of different sports, but they are very, very competitive. They were super excited to be involved in Thanksgiving games and just be around everyone. And so you get the club out and you get the balls out and you start going at it. I was tired sitting on the couch and watching them fail their first couple times. I was just sitting and enjoying, and I think that's what Thanksgiving is about, spending time with the people. And these kids are going at it, and they're brothers, and they naturally are, chirping at each other and telling everyone to watch them and not really getting better. And so this gets me to my coaching moment. As they struggled to hit the ball into the net, I found myself just realizing like that was once me too. I just was like, okay, cool. Let's see if they can get it. Let's see how long until they can get it. Let's see if one of them could actually do it by themselves. There's like 6 of us watching on the couch. And TV's on, but no one's really paying attention. Everyone's paying attention to these kids and can they do this activity? Finally, after watching them struggle for maybe 15 minutes, one of the adults in the room says, "Come on, Coach Ness, show them how it's done. Like, let's go. Like, you know how to do this. Show them, please help them." And that's when I stepped in, and I started with the younger cousin. He wasn't doing great. He's shorter, and I knew it was going to be a challenge. And I started my first question: are you going to listen? Or are you going to do it yourself? Are you going to do your own thing? He quite frankly said, yes, I'm going to listen. And from that moment, it was a process. I first said, okay, face your feet this way, just like you're facing a person that's going to score and you're in the goalie box, and related it back to soccer. Finding something familiar to him was so important. I showed him how to hold the club. I showed him the importance of a follow through. You don't have to kick out of your shoes. You just have to move your hands as if you were doing a follow through in the soccer ball. And he said, okay, I can do this. And every single time he swung, I did these little micro adjustments. The feet swung and missed. The hands swung and missed. Moved the club lower, swung and missed. Moved his head a little bit and made sure to show him that his elbows had to stay super tight. Swung and missed. And finally I said, okay, we're going to try it one more time. You can do this. It's okay. We got this. And he swung, he did his follow through, he kept his arm straight and he made it. And this is maybe the sixth swing total. And he finally made it. And all these adults that were watching him erupted. And I think he jumped in the air and he was so excited. And he finally did it. And it only took 6 swings. I've been watching him for 15 minutes before and he could not get the ball off the ground. And I stood up, I helped him. Micro adjustments, 6 swings later, he makes it, dunks it into this little net, and everyone was super excited. And so naturally, his big brother comes and is ready, and if he can do it, I can do it, and everyone's so excited. And also 15 minutes of watching both of these boys, not just the younger one, miss. And so he steps up, he grabs the club from his little brother, and I tell him the exact same thing. I said, are you gonna listen, or are you gonna do your own thing? And he had a different approach, and he stepped up and he was confident, and he said, I can do this. And I said again, are you gonna listen, or are you gonna do your own thing? And he said, well, watch me this one time. And so I watched him the one time, and he missed. And so I said, okay, do you want help? And he said, yeah, I want help. Okay. Fixed his hands, swung and missed. Fixed his feet, swung and missed. Fixed his elbows, swung and missed. And 4, maybe 5 shots in, he reverted back to his old ways. And it didn't work, and his foot was moving. And now by this time you have people that are sitting on the couch that watched what happened when you listened. And then I'm helping him and he's moving, and I'm helping him and he's moving back. And I share this story to share with you all, whoever's listening, that this moment, it reminded me how important it is to stay open to feedback, to not give up, and to try things, even when you're uncomfortable and it's a new sport and there's people watching and it's Thanksgiving and you don't want to mess up, and it's okay to try new things and to get uncomfortable. And there's people there that are rooting for you. And all of these moments, all of these lessons came out of this one 15-minute session of us trying a new game in a new house and in a new environment. And it was so much fun. And so my broader takeaways of this small moment, if someone is trying to help you, you gotta listen. And if someone that knows what they're doing is trying to help you, it's even more of a reason to listen. And I really took that away. One of them listened and one of them didn't. And the difference was 6 shots, he made it. And the other one, I don't think he made a single one the whole night. So first lesson from this moment is, when someone's trying to help you, just listen. And then the second one is, perseverance is everything. You don't always succeed on the first try, and that is okay. But if you don't succeed and then you give up, that's when you have problems. And the younger cousin, he persevered. And maybe you're like, oh, Coach Ness, this is silly. He only had to do 6 shots. No, but the 50 before that, before someone even stepped in to help him, those were important too. And so he didn't give up. He wanted to make it. He wanted to be good at the game. And even when he didn't make it on his first try after my adjustment, or a second try, and I adjusted again, and third try, and Coach Ness is adjusting again, he didn't give up. And the older cousin, he didn't make it on his first try, and he didn't give up, but he wasn't willing to stay uncomfortable in those moments, and he wasn't willing to embrace the growth. So don't give up, even if you haven't succeeded yet. Don't give up. And my third big takeaway is, embrace the process. Because even when you're uncomfortable, even when you're doubting yourself, that's when growth happens. And one of those cousins will walk away knowing that if a golf club is in front of him and there's a challenge or a game and he can win something, he's okay with being uncomfortable and he's okay with trying. Whether you're trying to hit a golf ball, whether you're trying to accomplish a small goal, whether you're trying to do something in your life that you haven't done before, the principles are the same. You don't give up. You be okay with being uncomfortable, and you embrace the process. In moments like this in your life, there's a choice, and you can choose to listen and adapt and make micro adjustments. You can make pivots. You can have a life full of pivots and keep going and strive for success, or you can listen and you can choose not to adapt. You can keep going, but the rate of success will be harder than if you listened, adapt, kept going, didn't give up, and every single moment you're striving to improve. And you can make the golf ball in the little net, or you can accomplish your goal. And so that's relating it back to your life. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know if you play minute to win it games on Thanksgiving, but hopefully you learned something. And so neither of the cousins or I won the Thanksgiving game. And my fiance, actually, who brought the game and is really good at chipping, he ended up winning anyways. But those lessons that those kids learned and the reminder that I got by helping them was so much more than one of the games that we could have won. And it's not always about winning. And sometimes it's about how you approach the challenges, how you try, how you never give up, how you take these micro adjustments and pivots and you continue to learn and continue to grow. So I hope that's what you took away. Then it's such a small moment that we're in a house full of family and we're enjoying ourselves. And no one was probably thinking of all of this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to relate this one little moment in sports back to a moment in life. Thank you so much for listening to episode 1 of the Wolfblack Playbook. I'm looking forward to sharing more stories, lessons, and conversations with you in future episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, please stay tuned for the next one. And don't forget to share your thoughts and feedback to me. Can't wait to relate the next little moment back to sports.